How can you help me when I have a meltdown in public? Well, for me personally, because again, I just want to make it clear this is my autism, not necessarily everybody's autism, but for me it's very simple. And it actually comes down to 4 words that you can ask to really help me when I'm having a meltdown in public. And those 4 words, I call them 4 magic words, are how can I help? Because with those 4 words, you're actually doing 3 distinct, profound things. First is that you're knocking on my door. I said in my past video about the recent meltdown I had in public on Christmas that, autism means state of self. I live in my own world, so to speak. I am an inwardly focused individual, and every day I have to go out into this harsh, brutal world, right? Very few people take the time to come into my world. Society might want to include me, but why can't I include others in my world, right? Why isn't it reciprocated? And so by asking, how can I help, and I'm having a meltdown in public, you are knocking on my door. You are asking, Russell, from your perspective, from your lived experience, you tell me, how can I help? Secondly, is you're putting me in control. I'm a grown man. I'm in my 30s, right? And it is astonishing to me how many people who see me have a meltdown in public talk to me like I'm a little kid throwing a tantrum, right? Give me some control of my own situation. Yeah, I need help in that moment, right? I'm human. We're all human. We all need help at times. Nobody's gotten through this life on their own. But to order me around or tell me to do something when you haven't even met me before is, the complete epitome of ignorance. So when you're saying, how can I help? Again, you are putting me in control, and that control is very calming for me and other individuals in a moment of crisis. Our worlds feel like they're crumbling apart, so if we can have some control over the situation, when you grant that to us, that means a lot, even though we might not be able to verbalize that to you in the moment, how much it meant. And then thirdly, the third profound meaning behind these 4 simple words of how can I help is that you are admitting to me that you are aware of your ignorance. And that is so important. I did a TEDx talk at UCLA last year. The title was When Ignorance Becomes Awareness, because it is vital when we support individuals with invisible disabilities, all disabilities, when we just simply support humans, that we be aware of when we do not know how to help somebody. Because too often, we try to help somebody, but we don't know how, and we end up hurting them. I know what I need. If you're just seeing me for the first time having a meltdown in public, you don't know what I need. And when you are aware that you do not know what I need, that is a green flag for me. Because again, too often I am told to do this or that, not knowing, the person telling me not knowing that if I did that, it would actually make me worse. So now I'm put in the awkward position of when I'm struggling and somebody orders me to do something thinking they know how to help when they don't, I'm in the awkward position of actually going along with that to my own detriment or rebuffing their offer to help. And then they get offended, and then it turns into a snowball of emotion. So I've received many questions of how can I help someone in that situation due to my last video on having that Christmas meltdown in public. And again, it's very simple for me. I don't need anything to be fixed. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm not broken. I just need to know that I'm not alone in that moment, and I just have to ride it out. Yeah, there are certain coping tools I can put into place, but honestly, what I need in that moment is compassion. And the Latin etymology behind the word compassion means to suffer with. So take a step into my world, suffer with me a little bit, put me in control, admit that you might not know how to help, but that you're willing to help. And again, I think those simple things and those 4 words of how can I help, oftentimes when I hear that and I really don't know what to say, but I'm in a moment of struggle, I will say, how can you help? You just did by asking that simple question.